Hi. Oh my God. Let me get my mind right.
No problem.
Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. Today, we're going to dive into one man's journey to understand his purpose. And not just understanding his purpose, but being allowed to take that gift and resonate to others. In other words, bringing enlightenment to other individuals based on his experience. Now, let me clarify this right now. We ain't talking about nothing religious and all that kind of stuff. So don't turn your phones off or your televisions and all that. You need to listen because everyone has a journey, everyone has a purpose, and everybody has that beast mindset. We all go through shit. We all have to figure out our destination in this life that we're living. That beast mindset is what it's all about. How do we channel that energy? How do we know what this life is about? And more importantly, check this out. What's your purpose? Have you ever looked in the mirror in the morning and really asked yourself, what's your purpose? Today, we're going to dive into all of that. We're going to dive into all of it. We're going to try to cover everything. This might be an hour-long show, but it's going to be enjoyable. You guys got to sit back. Today on the show, we have Mr. Sadique Johnson, a.k.a. the Natural Light Being, other words, truth-worthy. Now, when somebody's name means truth-worthy, that's pretty damn special. Let's get real. That's pretty damn special. So without further ado, let's welcome to the Andre The Beast Crayton Show, Mr. Sadique, otherwise known as the Natural Light Being. What's up, big guy?
What's good, Andre? How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm doing great. After looking at this bio, man, I'm getting ready to get double enlightened.
Yeah.
Before we get started, you're from Jamaica. You're now in Jersey. You've been there for over 20 some years. Tell the viewers a little bit about who you are before we get really deep into your journey.
Well, I'm just like everybody else, to be honest, in the sense of we're all trying to find ourselves, and I'm just on a journey of self-discovery. And I learned that we're not just our name or our title. We're more than that. And that's all life is about. It's about remembering who you are. So that's what my journey is, to remember my purpose of why I'm here, to help everybody else remember their purpose as well, too. And it's very profound once you go within yourself to figure out why you exist and, you know, the reason for existence. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm on a mission, and the things that happened in my life led me to the point where I'm at here. So it's just a part of the journey.
Now, you're naturally Jamaican, raised. What was it like for you in Jamaica before you actually came to the United States?
When I lived in Jamaica, it was really fun to me, like, because I was young, I was a kid. So growing up, I was able to basically roam the land freely, and we have plenty of fruits and vegetables that grow in the woods. So we were able to go into the woods, pick from nature, eat from nature, ground ourselves to the land, and connect to the Mother Nature, to Earth. And so I always had that connection to nature and to the world. And I realized later on why I love nature so much is that we're one with nature, man. Jamaica taught me that you know, just being out there in the woods or by the water in the river was like, it was healing. It's very, very relaxing and very empowering. That's what I took from Jamaica with me, that we all have this ability to overcome our circumstances and environment. Doesn't matter where we come from. It's just, you know, you have to take what you need to learn from that and grow and expand yourself from that area.
When you came from Jamaica, that sounds really profound. And I believe that because I was looking on social media and there was a guy. He was like this guy who was working every day. And he said, you know
Yes.
what? I'm really tired of working every day. He took a self inventory, a reflection, kind of
True.
like I'm a validate what you just said for the viewers so they can understand the breadcrumbs that we're about to unleash here.
That's
So
right, bro.
he winds up doing what we call the matrix. He goes to work, goes home, the same construct all the time, same thing.
Exactly.
Then he was like, what do I need to really be abundant? He said, I need water, I need some type of shelter, and I need food. So what did he do? He went and got a piece of land. He grew his fruits and vegetables. He had water, and he built shelter. And he was able to use the resource of the sun to power his devices. But if he wanted to go off the grid, he just got rid of his stuff. And he was like, I've never felt so alive that the earth, the sky is giving me everything I want. He said, I looked at money and I took a cigarette lighter and I burnt it and got to realize I bust my ass all these years for this piece of paper when everything was right here in front of me. So that validates what you just said. But check this out, Sadique. Check this out. When was the changing point for you? Because you can't, it's going to be difficult for you to have that heritage and be grounded there because of the ancestral plane that's there. You know what I mean? The legacy. Now you're coming to, let's just call it what Europeans call it, the promised land, which is America. Whole different setup. How did you change from there to now being here?
To be honest, it was an adjustment. It was an adjustment for me because when I was younger, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I used to get like, how people see into the future.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be able to see into the future. I still can. We all have this ability. So what was happening when I was young, growing up in Jamaica, I was able to see like the Matrix, Terminator. I happened to see them when I was younger, and I was happened to see what they were showing us in it, that America was like that. And when I came here, that's what I was imagining in my mind, that it was like the Terminator movie and the air wasn't good here and and I found out it exactly is kind of like exactly that. And but also to say this, that America is a great place and it's great people here, and I learned a lot from being here. It was it was an adjustment for me to get used to like the environment, not being able to go out in the woods and pick like fruits and vegetables and like, not have like the natural stuff that we had growing in Jamaica. It was just adjusting to, the life that's here, which was a great thing because I learned, like I said, as I grew, that there was so much for me to take in here and expand my consciousness from.
What was the reason that your family came here? Because was it for resources? Was it for better opportunities? What was the reason for that?
Well, my family came here for a better life. My grandma first came way back in the 90s, and then other family members followed after her. And then in the 1990s, I came with my mom and my family. And we came for a better life because, to be honest, we owned a lot of land in Jamaica. We owned a lot of land, a lot of cows, a lot of animals, plenty of land. So it's not like we didn't have. And we just wanted a better life because it was hard work, and to own so much land. People don't realize to own land, farmland, and to have cows and goats and chickens and all that. It's fun. It's great, but it's a whole lot of work. It's hard labor. So
but isn't it just as hard, if not harder, to, let me put it the right way. Let me get the download. Sadique, let me get the download.
Definitely.
It would appear to me, okay, I'm just outside looking in.
Yeah,
I get it. It's hard running land and all that. But to me, and it would be even more difficult to fulfill and work just as hard to reach the American dream. And let's get real. What is the American dream? It's about ownership of property and wealth. Okay, well, you already had wealth and everything in Jamaica. So I mean, why get rid of that to come here and have to work really hard? And the tripped out part about it is you never own your house here in America. I don't know why people say I paid my house off. You never own.
I'm glad you said that, brother. I'm gonna break that one down too. I'm glad you brought that up.
You never own shit in America. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're so right. You don't own the house. You don't even own the land, because what happens is you buy that house and they own the land. That's what I found out coming here, that it was a lie. They sold us the American dreams through movies and TV shows in Jamaica. That's what they're doing to all of the countries. They're selling us a dream through the movies, telling us that when we come here, that it will be so much better than where we're at. And then we come here, we realize, oh man, they made us slaves again. That's what happened. You became a slave, and now you got to work a 9 to 5. And then the money that you work, I'm gonna break it down. The money that we work now, it actually go back to the same people that runs the businesses that we work for. Like if you work for a corporation, they own the houses, they own the land, and they own the apartments. So you end up getting your paycheck, you cash it through their bank system, you give them some of the money, and then you take the money and give it back to them for bills. So the money recycles back to them. So you're basically working for free. But they don't really tell you this, so you can't see it. But when you purchase a house here, a land house, the house is paid for with your signature. It's paid for with your signature, but they don't tell you that. And what they do is they charge us again afterwards, 3-4 times for the house. But all reality, it's a scam. You just got to discover that there's a fraud being committed. And then when you discover it, you can actually take them to court and sue them and get all your money back for the house. I found a brother called Mortgage Eliminator that's helping people do that right now. And he would be a great person for your podcast.
That would be great. You know what is, but I'm looking at your life and I get it. You know, we're human beings, so we can't see beyond certain points, and everybody wants that. But I'm thinking, wow, you still have the opportunity to go back and do what you, how your journey actually started. You had the land, you got the cows, you got the chicken. You're self-sufficient if you went back. So have you ever thought about doing that?
Yes, I actually thought about it. It's just the way it's set up now is that, you know, a lot of people are doing this. A lot of people are getting their finances together and they're actually looking for other places to buy land and invest in. A lot of us are doing this because they realize that things are not what it seems here. And for us to have like generational wealth, I'm going to say generational abundance, you have to own land. You have to own land. You have to be able to produce your own food. You have to be self-sufficient, because if you're not, you're going to be reliant on the system, the grocery store and all of them to feed you. When you can feed yourself, you are abundant. If the land produces food, you're abundant. If you have fresh water, that's abundance. Fresh air, that's abundant. I learned abundance is more than just money. It's more than wealth. Abundance is all of the things that God gave us, which is life, freedom, time, love, peace. Like, you know, just the natural stuff that come with being who we are. You know, abundance comes from within us. Like our health is our wealth. And
why do you think this is a 2-part question? Let's start with the first part. Why do you think now the veil is being revealed for people? Not a lot of people, but a few are still called in the religious narcissistic category. Everything is this is how it is. They can't see beyond that. That's where they stay. You know what I mean? But there's quite a few people that are realizing what you say. But let's talk about the ones that are not waking up from the matrix or the cloth. Why do you think that's such a difficult part for them to accept? Even if you put it out there, like we just put it out there, you had everything. Well, not you had, you still do. You have everything in the Bahamas, and then you come here because you were sold a movie. Why do you think people are having a hard time removing the veil and being able to ascend?
the reason why people are not fully aware of what's going on is because of conditioning. They've been programmed ever since they were born, from like 1 to 7 or 8. From when you're born from 1 to 8, they're programming you to believe whatever they tell you is true. So a lot of people got programmed by their families, their mom, their dad, or society. The programs we get from school. A lot of it is like outdated beliefs, and because we believe it to be true, we create, because our beliefs create our reality. So if we believe what we were told as kids to be true, that's what we're creating in our reality as adults. We're still programmed as adults from 1 to 7. That's a program that's stuck with a lot of people. So a lot of people don't want to let go of it. Like Mr. Smith and Mr. Anderson in the Matrix, when they try to tell certain people in the Matrix that you're in the Matrix and that this is not real, they try to fight against people because they don't want to wake up from the illusion. They don't want to see life for what it is. So they rather stay asleep and unaware of what really is. So, and also those type of people serve a purpose to the other people that are waking up, that this is what it looks like when you're unaware of life and what's going on in life. You're just not going to be able to live life to the fullest or have the best experience out of life. So when you become more aware of it and the veil goes away, you're vibrating high. You're on a higher vibration, higher frequency. So you're able to tap into more information, get more downloads. That's what's happening. We're in different levels of frequency and vibration and consciousness. You're in a lower vibration, lower frequency. So me trying to explain it to somebody that's not on the level, they can't receive it, because I've been there myself. When somebody tried to tell me years ago that we were in the Matrix and we had powers, we could fly, I basically laughed. I laughed because to me, I was young. To me, I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to realize it was true. And then now I can look back like that guy was telling me the truth. So some people, they take a little longer to wake up. Some of them are not going to wake up because they're going to stay along with the old earth while the earth split into a new earth already. The 5th dimension is already here and we're already transitioning into it. So that's what's happening. They're going to stay beyond with the old earth, 3rd dimension. And everybody that's awakened is moving up into the 4th dimension and the 5th dimension of reality, because there's many worlds in this one world. This world is like an onion, and the more layers you peel back, there's another world beyond that layer, and it goes deep. There's so many worlds. That's why Atlantis is still here on Earth. Atlantis was the whole planet, and there's beings that were here before like the beginning of time that is still here, and they're gonna show up. So it gets very deep. It's just a level of consciousness, and everybody's just creating their own reality. More better yet.
Check this out, Sadique. Not to cut you over. Check this out.
Yeah.
So the day before yesterday, me and my daughter went over to my dad's house. Right now, I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna show you how crazy the universe is. Right now, they are deep into religion, church. That's how our ancestors. During slavery, they got all into the church. Right. So it was funny. She was talking to me, and she was talking to me about what you talked about, like the people that were here, or they call it extraterrestrials, beings that was here before, and I'm like blown away, because I'm thinking, okay, are you like waking it up here? Because this is literally contradicting what you talk about in the church. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, the forbidden fruit. But I'm sitting back going, what else do you know? She was like, she just started talking. I was like, wow, you're starting to wake up. But this is my question for you.
Yes.
Let me get the download right so I can ask this right way. By knowing what she just told me, it contradicts what she's reading in the most number one selling book, the King James Bible.
Exactly.
But now she's starting to talk about things that are really in that book. You just don't understand how to decode it. How do you think religious narcissism, elevation of vibrational frequency to ascend, how do you think all those three are going to have a difficult time for people to accept, realize, and crack the codes?
For some people, they are like the way showers. So some of us are sent to wake up sooner than others, so that we can actually share the information with the rest of the world so that they can plant seeds to eventually wake up who's meant to wake up. Because from what I'm learning is that some of us are meant to wake up and some of us are not. So, whoever's meant to wake up will already have been starting to wake up. They're already woken. And the rest that are not meant to wake up, they won't waken because they already choose we already have free will and free choice to choose what we want. So some of them are basically choosing to stay asleep, and the rest, they want to wake up. They become curious. They ask questions. And the more curious you are about who you are and where you come from and what this world is, that actually connects you to the divine. And then now you can reach more downloads now from your higher mind, from the higher self. That's how we receive the information when you're questioning. How is this possible? How are we existing on a floating ball in the middle of space or a floating rock? How are we existing without it being like some higher power making this possible? And there is. These beings are actually here amongst us right now. They always been here. They never left. They actually are here, and they're going to start showing up more in the open to us. That's why they have open contact coming up. It's starting in the 2025 and the 2025 to 2026.
The Galactic Federation. I think that's what they call it. The Galactic Federation.
That's what they call them. Yes. And they're here. They're here. They're basically the ones watching over the planet to make sure nobody destroys the planet. All right. Because humans are destructive, chaotic, and nobody's coming to destroy us or hurt us. Can't nobody do nothing to us that we ain't already doing to ourselves. All right. So, they're literally here. We're like kids to them. We're their kids. We are the kids of them. And we're very powerful beings. They know it too. We're gods. We're all gods in the flesh. We're the kids of God. This is what I never understood, that if the Bible is telling you that you're the kids of God, you're the children of God, wouldn't that make you gods, the sons and daughters of God, a God themselves?
You know what, Sardine, that is so profound, because it's funny how you said that, and if it's clearly there. I mean, they went back and changed the words, and they went from God to gods to God.
Elohim. Elohim.
And I'm thinking, even as a child, this is tripped out, man. Even as a child, I was like, something's not making no sense. But it's funny how the preachers and people dumbify that. And I'm like, are you not reading what you're supposed to be reading? Because like, you have children, so I get what you're saying. You want your children to ascend just as much as you, which means you want to give them abundance. You want to teach them how to be like you. Why wouldn't you mean the universe or the God that are gods that created me in their image? Wouldn't want me to have the same malevolent powers and things to do what they do? Because why create me if you're not if I can't have that same gift?
Exactly, my brother. What you really do, what it is that they're just lying to us. Like the church and the pastors and the preachers, they're put there by the system to cut us off from our higher self, from our divine powers, because they actually are taught to interpret the Bible to us the wrong way and to leave out stuff, to omit stuff so that we don't hear the truth. Just like they left stuff out in the writing in the Bible. It's all done on purpose so that if we don't realize that we are gods, creators, we're not going to know how to go within ourselves to tap into that power, because we're being told by them to look outside of ourselves, because God is in the sky. God is somewhere else. God is not within us. But guess what? The temple of God is where? The temple of God, where are your temples at?
Yeah.
The temple of God is right here. And guess where God sits at? The seat of God is in your imagination, man. That's where you create from. You create from your imagination, which manifests all your dreams. It manifests your reality because you can imagine it. And then you're creating it.
You talking, brother.
That's how we create. We literally create with our imagination every single day. And what happened when we're kids? We get told by our parents to stop imagining stuff, stop daydreaming. And then at school, they program you to be a person that remembers information, incorrect information at that, and not a person that uses their imagination to create.
They're
literally dumbing us down and giving us a whole bunch of misinformation. They're loading our heads full of misinformation so that you don't have the space to fathom or to remember who you are. So we got to go through life to unlearn what we was taught to remember who we are, because all of the information is inside of us. So we just got to access it by being curious. When you're curious about yourself, who you are and where you come from, something happens. You literally, the spark ignites, which is already inside of us.
But Sardine, but a lot of people, and I ask people this all the time.
Yeah.
And this is a powerful question.
Yes.
I ask them, say, what's your purpose here? What's your purpose? You know, the average person cannot answer that question.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna finish up, so I'll let you answer this. So to go back to what I'm saying with that, you can't really interpret or understand a message like what you're given, even while you're providing the breadcrumbs, because if you don't understand why you're here, if my answer to you is, "Oh, I'm here to have a house, to be married, blah blah blah,"
yes,
isn't it going to be difficult for you to understand a bigger level of consciousness?
That's right. It all depends on the level of consciousness that being is at, in vibration and frequency, because that's how we're able to receive what we're being given, is if we're at the level to receive it. So whoever is able to receive it will receive. From what I'm learning is, like me posting videos online, is that the people that are meant to receive the information will receive it correctly. Like, we all have a gift. You have a gift and I have a gift. And if we have a gift, there's someone out there ready to receive our gift. We just have to be willing to share it with them, and they will be able to get what they need out of it. And
what has been and I saw your post, man. I mean, and you're 100% right. When I was talking, we had a guest on yesterday who was talking about manifesting, and we'll get into that. She was 27 years old, and I was like, look, you need a bigger platform to really talk about what you're talking about. I'm not even concerned about the age factor, because we're all I believe we all have a gift. It doesn't matter what age you are. It just took you 27 years to kind of home in on it. You dig what I'm saying?
That's right.
But to go back to what I was saying, I like everything that you put out. I was truly blown away. I was like, wow, let me put it like this in a song. He's speaking my language.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
With that said, what kind of, good can't exist without evil. They both, the yin and the yang. So what kind of negative feedbacks have you been getting from people? And I'm going to use this as an example, because a lot of that negative shit, if you really understand and decipher it, it's really a fear-based reaction. But what kind of negative stuff have you been getting from what you're putting out on social media and even talking to people? Because somebody always wants to debate. That's right. What you're talking about.
Yeah, I've gotten a bunch of negative response from people, and I realized after a while, like I had one guy literally following me for over a year, a bunch of them trolling me, and it's like the information I'm putting out is highly positive, it's valuable, it actually helps people become better versions of themselves. So it surprises me when I find people that are so negative that they go against the positive. And I realized over time, I'm like, I just blocked that guy finally. I realized, I'm like, oh, you know what? We put these people there. I'm going to break it down. We put these negative people there, and I'm going to show you why we put them there. We put them there in our life to test us, to see if they can deter us from our dreams. You get what I'm saying? To see if they can distract us and take us away from our purpose and our passion in life. So God is testing your mind to see if you're mentally strong enough, if your heart is strong enough to take people basically attacking you or not believing in you. Do you believe in yourself? Do you know in yourself what you're saying is true? Because if you know in yourself is true, it doesn't matter what nobody think about you. It doesn't matter what they believe.
So you put the negative there to strengthen the belief system. Either you strengthen it or you fall victim to it.
Yes. You got it, brother. That's exactly it. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a test for yourself, like the lesson to see if you're ready to move on, and it tests you. You send more of
Yeah.
yourself in different bodies to see if you're ready. And sometimes these people are rude and ignorant, man. It's like, it's trying to not let it bother you is the thing, not to react. To learn not to react is the thing,
Okay.
and not let it
So
get into your mental.
so check this out. I love everything you've been through, man. And even this is probably the most emotional part. And people need
Yes.
to understand we've all have died. And
Yes.
we all have chosen to come back, or we choose to go home. Those are the two choices.
Right.
That's the free will being human, which means
Yes.
this. And I'm not saying that everybody has to believe what I'm saying, but you need to be able to have an open mind and not think on a one-dimensional state. We all
Exactly.
have chosen to be here. And I said the tripped out part is, you said this as well. Many people don't get this. Hollywood tells you everything that's going on. The truth, the evil cannot hide the truth. So let's use this as an example.
Yes.
City of Angels. You seen that
Yes.
movie? City of Angels?
Yes.
I said, so let's use this for example. We've all been here, but you have your angelic world, you have different worlds like what you was talking about, and you have humans, you have the human beings. And we saw Nicolas Cage fall in love with Meg Ryan. And what did he do?
Yeah.
He failed. Remember when he saw the other dude, and the dude was the dude was dying in the bed, and your boy said, I see you. He told Nicolas, I see you. He said, well, how do you sue me? Because he was one of the higher people that wanted to be human. He wanted to get the human experience. So let's go deeper. Let's go deeper here. You had a near-death experience. Yes. I've had several people. I had Virginia Drake, who had died several times and had lived several lives and can recount every single one. And so she was here. She was here for 4 days in the studio. We're gonna get to my question with you in a minute. So it's funny how the universe works. When we first started the podcast, I was dealing with a surgery. I remember I was at my nephew's, laying in the bed, trying to recover. And all of a sudden, these near-death things was popping up on the TV. I'm like, "What?" Okay, so I'm watching it. Yeah. And I get back to the studio, and I cut on the YouTube, and all of a sudden, this near-death experience pops up, and this lady's on. I decided to watch it. It was an hour-long thing, very motivated. I had her on the show. She actually came here, was here for almost a whole week, told me about grounding. And I said, tell me about the near death. What was that like for you? I said, because what I'm understanding is when you come back, you have fragments of what you saw, like loved ones, like you said, seeing different images, portals, and so forth. I said, but I noticed when people come back, because I watched several of them, when they come back, they don't remember a lot, but they do remember the most important thing. And this was tripped out. The most important thing was love. Love. So I said, well, what happened to the other things that was clear? Then it dawned on me. I said, the vibrational frequency on Earth is so chaotic that it disrupts the frequency of clearancy that you had. Everything was there. What was that like for you when it happened to you?
So when I had my near-death experience, I actually witnessed myself going into the earth. I witnessed myself like dissolving back into the earth, and I went into like the darkness. And then I felt this feeling of like I miss my family. I couldn't go without them. I was missing my kids. I was missing my girl. I was missing my family, and I couldn't just die without being there for them, because I felt like if they miss me, they're gonna be in pain. They're gonna hurt. So from that thought alone, it made me manifest myself back into physical reality. I watched myself come back into a ball of light. And I found out after this that we are a ball of light. I watched myself form as a planet because we are stars. And I came back into a supernova. And then I reappeared back into a field. I found out we were gods. I seen all of it. I seen everything of history. I see my entire future. And exactly like you were saying, it made me change my life because I realized when I had the near-death experience, I realized that my life flashed before my eyes. I had my life review, and everything that I ever done, that I ever made somebody feel any type of way about, like not so good, I felt it. I seen it and I felt it through their eyes. That's how I know I really died and came back. I seen what they felt and I seen what they saw. And,
Give
and
me
I
an
realized
example
the
real
earth,
quick.
she was alive this
Hold on
whole
a minute.
time.
Hold on a minute. Give me an example of that. Because that's the second time I heard
All right,
different
so
people say that.
yeah, so all right, I'm gonna use my mother. Like, so what happened is when I was having the near-death experience and I was having the life review, it was almost like a screen was put in front of my eyes to watch my entire life. Yes, and it was like a TV screen, and I'm seeing my whole entire life flash before my eyes fast. And I felt all of the pain that I put my mother through. I felt her pain, and it made me feel like compassion. Yeah, I had to become more compassionate. And then I realized the earth, she was alive, and I had to become more compassionate about her too. I have to protect her. I have to keep her safe. And then I realized she keeps herself safe, but we got to do better of taking care of her. And all the women in my life, I just realized I had to do better. The earth, she's one of them. My mother, my woman. I just learned that I had to become a better version of myself to give my family the best me. And
Mhm.
that's what happened. I needed to die because when I died, it became my catalyst to my spiritual awakening. It jogged me back into my body to remember that I was a God. It reminded me that I'm a divine creator, that I created everything that exists. I created the entire world. That's what I gained from that experience. We're all
Did
creators.
you
Every single one of us create our own reality and our
did
own world.
you
All of us.
I shared this with Virginia. I shared this with
Yes.
Virginia because I watched my nephew had me to watch Loki because he was watching Loki and that shit fucked me up. I've
You seen
never
him split
seen
in time, right?
Yeah. I was like, well, he died and they gave him a life review,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, the universe is crazy because they're putting all this shit out here and people are not really getting what's
You're
going
not
on.
getting it.
Yeah, I'm like, this dude, he did the same life review. They had the symbolism in that movie was profound.
Yeah.
It was like, wow,
Yeah.
let me go back to what I was getting ready to say. So let's use this movie right here. This is Tripped Out. Soul
Yeah.
with Jamie Foxx. Something said, watch Soul. I didn't want to watch it. Something says, watch Soul. Watch Soul. I
Yeah.
watched it. He died. He kept going towards that light, going towards that light, going towards that light. He said, I ain't supposed to be here. So he went to school, and I was like, wow. He didn't see the divine. He had to start all over. He had to go to school and he was being created. Did he want to be a basketball player? Did he want to be this? Did he want to be that? He had to take somebody with him as like a guide, And so I asked Virginia Drake this. This kind of tripped me out. I said, so you had these near-death experience. And I said, I noticed everybody goes through the reincarnation portal.
Yes.
The reincarnation. I said, so if you have free will, and I asked Virginia this because she had, I think, 12 near-death experiences. I don't know if that's the right number, but it was several of them.
Whoa.
And there was a young girl that had the near-death experience, and she said she was Cleopatra. She was on one of her podcasts, but I'm gonna close this part out.
Yeah.
So as Jamie Foxx is going towards the light, he's running back. He's running back. He don't want to go. He don't want to go. I asked Virginia, I said, why can't you not go to the light? Why can't you just say, I want to go home? If it's right? She said, Andre, you can. You have a choice. So my question to you is, I know you went through the review and you may not remember, but did you have a choice? Did you want to go home and extend? That's what I call it. Extend. And say, I'm done with the movie. I'm done painting my picture. I've learned all I need to learn. Did you have that option or do you even remember?
That part of it, I don't recall for some reason, because what happened is, just like you said, for some reason, the amount of downloads and information I received, I think it was too much for me to take back with me. So they took some of it from me so that it wouldn't be a burden to me as I went along to figure this stuff out. And, as far as I know, we do have a choice. I learned this after the process that we all have a choice because we have a mission, a purpose, and we cannot leave until we complete it. So if we still had something to do and we died, we have a choice now to stay and finish it or leave. So I chose to come back for my family to actually do something great in life, to pursue this purpose and this passion in life. And that's why I'm physically here right now, is that I know that I'm here for a reason. So I couldn't just die without fully accomplishing my mission.
What do you think your mission is, and what's your purpose?
I feel like my mission and my purpose. Yes.
Let me clear this up so that people can understand what I'm talking about.
Yes.
We all are connected. We all are connected. True. But you have your own God-like individualism. You know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
So what exactly is your divine purpose as a individual being?
Yes. So from what I learned is that the stuff that I've been facing in life, all my struggles and my challenges and the obstacles was put there by me to learn like that, we can overcome anything. And I had to fall far, man. I had to lose everything. After that whole process of dying and coming, I had to lose everything. I had to lose every single thing to find myself. And that's what I learned from losing everything, that I am everything. I have everything I want and need inside of me already. So we're really just here to find out what excites us the most. And when we figure out what excites us the most, like everybody, like you said, has their own purpose. I found out mine's because I realized that I have a gift to be able to receive information from our higher self, from God, from source. And then if God has given me this information, my gift is to share with the world that we are immortals. We're gods. We're creators. We're manifestors. We don't ever die. We live forever. We're literally made out of energy. And my thing is to now share that information with the world the best way I can so that they can remember who they are. My job is to help you remind yourself of your God divinity within you so that you can tap back into your innate powers and live the life that you are destined to live.
It's so funny. I tell people all the time, we're energy. I mean, I have a difficult time. I have a difficult time trying to understand why people can't understand that. But I get it. When you have religious narcissism in this world, you're always going to be challenged with religious narcissism. But it's not about religion, period. It's about understanding who you are as a divine creature. Energy never dies. It reboots.
Never. It just transfers.
Yeah.
Yes. Can't be made nor destroyed. All it does is just transfers to something else, and it just keeps going. And that's us. We're literally just having an experience. And really, even when people go through the hard times in life, that I'm learning is that when you face hard times, it's for a reason, because you're meant to learn. Because if life was too easy, then you couldn't learn. You can't learn from having an easy life. You have to go through the pressures of life to mold and shape you to become the better version of yourself. And then doing so.
No, go ahead. I asked when you get done.
Ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
What happens? I'm glad you brought that up. So what happens? This is just your theory. Your theory.
Yes.
What happens to the people that have acquired millions? And this is what I mean by this.
Yes.
Tupac says something about, you got a billionaire that if he took $1 or she took $1, you can make a difference in everybody's life. What about those individuals that hoard wealth?
Yeah. So that's just how it is. The system is set up in a way where like they want to keep everybody poor. The whole system is built on keeping everybody down and poor, because when you're poor and you're down and you're in fear, like when they cause pandemics and stuff and fear of so-called alien attacks, it keeps you in a lower vibration. And when they can keep you in a lower vibration of fear and lack, you keep creating that same reality for yourself, because what you believe and think to be true, you're going to project back into your reality. You're going to keep creating. It's a paradox. Life is very paradoxical. So people are creating a reality that they don't prefer because they keep thinking negative about it. They keep projecting it. They don't realize it's all coming from here. Once you change the way you think and feel, your thoughts and your feelings creating everything that you're experiencing.
How do you think it's going to resonate when the contact happens. I was really surprised that my stepmom was open to that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She was like, they've been here. I was like, wow, that's kind of strange. I didn't know you knew that, because when we talk about that, people look at you like, I said, look, let me tell you something. I'm a little bit older than you. But I remember when Roddy Rod Piper, them had a movie, TV series, and they had them glasses. And if you was extraterrestrial, you can read the Beyond the Billboard. And when he kept putting, when he glasses on, he saw the real people, the extraterrestrials that was in human form. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they live. They live.
So how do you,
man, my boy?
How do you think human beings are, because we've been conditioned with a fear-based factor to begin with, but the ones that know that there are other life forms on this planet that has been here.
Yeah.
How do you think the first encounter is going to be? It's not going to be like an ET, because you're going to have some humans that cannot accept that you have their DNA. We have their DNA too.
That's right. That's right. The Anunnaki gave us some of their DNA, and that's how we were able to become who we are. And the truth is that they are around us. They are around us. Some of them look like us. Some of them look so much like us that you will walk by them and not even really notice it. But their vibration is on another level. They vibrate higher, so you could probably feel their vibration. But the reason why they're here is that they're helping us, like, to integrate us back with the intergalactic family that we are, the Federation.
Intergalactic Federation. Yeah.
We're supposed to be getting to the stage of interplanetary where we can eventually leave the planet. So disclosure is going to bring all of that to the forefront, that we already have beings from the Atlantis time period that are still on the planet. And the Lemurians, they're going to be coming out of the, we're going to say hollow earth, whatever you want to call it, very soon in California. And like Mount Shasta, California, different areas, they have tons of portals there. So the beings are already here and they're already showing up. I literally, the other night, just caught a bunch of spaceships. I catch them all the time on camera. I've been recording spaceships for years now.
Really?
This is what happened when I had my spiritual awakening. I was able to start to see different dimensional beings. I watched portals open up. I watched ships come out of them. I watched them disappear back into them. I'm already able to accept that this is our life, that we're never alone, that we're always being guided. And these beings
here. And I you know what? I believe this because Von Braun, if you know about the Cold War, when the atomic bomb and Von Mar during Operation Paperclip happened, he openly admitted that they got their technology from extraterrestrials.
Yes, that's true. The technology.
I know what it was. This is what my stepmom was talking about. She said they've been here since Eisenhower. I said, do you know he met with the extraterrestrials and they realized that the humans realized that they were so much advanced in what we are that we had to basically do a treaty with them to allow them to do human research to help humans evolve. And it's all kind of crap. But let me go back to my question with you. I know a lot of people are going to think we're crazy on this episode, but you know what?
Brother. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know what's going on. My question to you is, thanks for the download.
Right.
Me personally, I'm like Neo on the Matrix. They're here to help us evolve because we've been so conditioned that the war will be between the humans that choose to stay human-like and the humans that choose to be Christ-like. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you think on that?
Yeah. So, you definitely hitting the nail on the head, man. Because that's what's happening right now. It's like a struggle between the awakened ones and the ones that don't want to wake up because they still want to be asleep and stay in the matrix. And from what I'm learning is that I learned some very profound things, brother. That as long as we keep good vibration, high frequency, we think that everything's going to work out. We feel like everything's going to work out. It's going to work out because we're creating it. So it's based off of what we believe to be true and how we feel. So I practice every day. No matter what's going on outside of me in the world, I always feel like everything is going right in my world because we are the creators of our own reality. So you're creating your own reality. I'm creating my own reality. Every single one of us is. We're just having an agreement to co-create this moment together and to have this information, to transmit this information to the world. But we all have the. Go ahead,
is that like the? Man, I'm getting downloads like crazy.
Yeah, that's very good, man.
Is this like the phrase? A lot of people gonna hate me for this. Many are called, and few are chosen.
Yeah, yes, because we choose to respond to it. Me and you, we chose to go and seek knowledge, seek information, be curious, and the more
seeking, you should find.
Yes, and the more you go within, the more the universe opens up to you because everything is a projection from what's inside of you. So literally, everything is inside of you. So once you go within yourself and ask these questions, really become curious. Curiosity is like opening up portals for you of downloads of information.
Let's talk about this, and I'm a firm believer in this, and I'm still a student too. I'm trying to, master the manifestation and all this, and a lot of people fail to understand that this is something that is not going to come instantaneous because you're still caught between more negative vibration than you are positive vibration. So to really home in on this information, you have to surrender to some degree and say, you know what? I know I'm gonna have to deal with some bad shit, just like you talked about people on the social media. I get it, and sometimes I kind of open it because it makes me stronger at times. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the difference. But
exactly.
But let's talk about this. The law of attraction. I was going to write something on social media about the law of attraction, but you know what? The reason that I just threw it away because it was too complicated for what I thought the average person to understand. I didn't want somebody to take a word because when you got haters, you know what they do? They take your shit and they try to dissect it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they're dissected to the most cliche shit you ever want to see. But I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction. It's like this just happened. When you're vibrating on the same frequency, you attract that all the time.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And you stop attracting the negative. Like I hardly ever get negative because I tell people I shake my tree and they go, "What do you mean shake the tree?" I said, "Well, I'm trying to be rooted. So my feet is my roots. I'm trying to stay rooted energetically." Right. And when I start feeling that, what I mean is I don't want you to agree with everything I say because that's not human like. But at least
we're have disagreements.
Yeah. At least take the information and try to understand it from a different point of view.
Yeah, different perspectives.
Yeah, just like I do yours. I look at it before I say something. You'll be like, "Oh man, you're full of shit." I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna say, "Okay, let me be open minded and think about this for a minute." And it's so funny that people are so indoctrinated into a one mindset way of thinking. How do you think the law of attraction goes along with deprogramming that way of thinking with people?
Yeah, so the thing is, the first thing people got to learn is that basically whatever you feel and believe to be true, that's what you're going to be attracting. Whatever you think about yourself, that's what you're creating. So your core vibration is going to attract everything to you. So that's where people don't get it because we weren't taught this stuff in school. You're not taught this stuff in church. So you don't realize that you're the one creating your life. So if you're living a life that you don't prefer, you have to learn how to own up to that and admit that, you know what? I put myself here and if I attracted this to me, whether it's a person, place, or a thing, I have the same ability to attract something better to me by changing my perspective and my mindset about it, change how I feel about it. Because once you change these certain things, it will also change the quality of your experience and the quality of your life and how you think and feel.
Well, why
So
do people have a tendency to just always say, this is so funny. I hear people always say, well, I want to attract, a big house. I want to attract a big car. I want to, like, wouldn't that be like,
yeah,
why not try to attract the ability to have a higher consciousness? Like, I can't get why people
yeah,
are still so wanting to manifest materialistic stuff all the time. I don't
yeah.
get
Yeah, and it's crazy that you're saying that because I tend to I usually don't get into it, but I use manifestation and the law of attraction, law of vibration to really get people's attention to point it towards what matters. I tell them about what they want to hear. This might sound crazy. I literally teach them the truth about how to create, but then I also do my best to get their attention to their divinity within them, that they're creators, they're constantly creating. We're all master manifested. We're all ascended masters already. We just have to remember. So sometimes it's like I have to plant seeds of like abundance and wealth and success because it gets people's attention. So in that sense, that's the level that certain people are able to receive the information from. And that's where they're stuck at. Me personally, I don't really care about material stuff, the money, none of that stuff. I care about people. I want to see people doing good in life. I want to see people living their best life. So the information is to help them do so. The money is just for an experience. That's what I learned. Money is for paying for experiences. So, and you can gain experience any way you want to in life, but it's not all about the material possession and the big house and the big car, because you can't take none of that stuff with you. The only thing you can take with you is the knowledge, the wisdom, and the experiences that you gain from being a physical being. All of the material stuff stays behind.
Yeah.
And so it's really about what you gain and experience and with inside of your home being.
Well, how do you, if you had to teach somebody how to use the law of attraction?
Yes.
Let's call it law of attraction for dummies. What would be the first thing that you would tell somebody to, because let's thank you for the download. Let's think of it like this.
Yes.
Human beings I want to see the proof. So if you had to demonstrate, you know where I'm going. If you had to demonstrate one thing to show the attraction as a teaching tool, what would that be for somebody?
So what I usually do to try to show people that they're basically creating their own realities by showing them that, just reminding them that if you ever thought about something, whether it be a job, a person, or a thing, and then you thought about it, you put the emotion behind it, the intention behind it, and it actually came to you, that's you attracting it. That's you using the law of attraction and the law of vibration. And I do my best to simplify, like, you ever thought about even getting some food to eat and you made you feel good about it, and then the thought of you having that food or that outfit or whatever it may be, you attracted it. This is what's happening. You're vibrating on the level of already having it, because you're thinking about it and you're getting the feeling of it. You thinking about it and getting the feeling of it is what's attracting it to you. That's how the law of attraction works, because you're now resonating with that thing, vibration and frequency, and that brings it to us.
It's so funny because I had no idea that I had been doing that pretty much all my life. And let me show you what I'm talking about.
All your life, you're manifesting right now, brother. That's how we created this podcast. We manifested this together.
This is stripped out. When I was young.
Yeah.
No, let me take it back. It actually started when I started bodybuilding. And I would go to every show. And this is tripped out. Sardine, I would literally go to a corner away from everybody, and I would literally manifest myself on stage. But what I did, I also understood compassion and to be humble. So I would ask the universe, I said, look, everybody here has put in hard work.
Yes.
Please allow me, if it's in your will, to at least place in the top 5. I have never not placed in the top throughout my whole career because I projected myself there. I projected what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Even while I was on the stage with the competitors, my mind was already manifesting, seeing the picture, seeing where I needed to be. Even at one show at the North America, I didn't get called out in the first round. I was being tested because I had used this dream stuff, and I thought I looked great, but evidently it washed me out, and I didn't know until after it was all said and done. But I still made the cut. But that was like the challenge part, because I'm like, okay, what do I do? Do I break down? And it was my mind challenging for the first time. Being put in a situation where the challenge. But anyway, long story short, I was already doing this manifestation and seeing its power being performed on myself. So I agree with what you just said. So my next question to you is, I'm looking at your stuff.
Yes.
You said, how's the key? How do you unlock those keys to have more of a, let me use the words that people are used to. How do we unlock the Christ mind's likeness and the God set within us from your viewpoint?
From my viewpoint, there's the meditation process that you can start to practice. Meditation daily helps. And I found myself doing things I never do. I never thought I would meditate at all in my life. So this was a part of my spiritual awakening in my journey. It was guiding me towards meditation. And my girl, she taught me the meditation, which was my higher self. That's how I work. Our higher self would send us people to help us, guide us. So I got into meditation. I learned about breath work. And when I started meditating, I realized that my awareness was expanding. I was able to tap into a higher sense of higher consciousness. I was able to actually leave my body and travel, and I will see other beings on other planets. This was in the daytime without me falling asleep. We all travel at night.
So you can astro project as well?
Yes. I can travel. Yes, we all. Yeah.
So you can do Doctor Strange, like in the movie Doctor Strange, where she pushed him out of astro, and he would be laying down there and reading.
That movie was some real stuff, man.
Yeah.
That was showing some real stuff. Like, we literally are doing it all the time. When we go to sleep, we travel out of our body. Our body sleep, but our spirit never rests. But you can actually do it intentionally meditating. If you get into the right state of being, you can project your spirit out your body, and you can literally leave and watch your body still functions while you leave. I've done it. I actually ran into other beings on other planets, and it blew my mind. Like, these beings are really there. And it makes you wonder, is this real? Am I really seeing this right now? They're looking at me and I'm looking at them.
Telepathically, because I know you're not talking to them, so you're reading each other's mind.
Yeah,
like Dr.
They don't need to talk. They talk with the mind.
Professor X type shit, right?
Yes, because the whole planet really is, we are like the X-Men. I'm glad you brought that up. We are like the X-Men. They're talking about us.
You know what I
about us?
So,
we all have.
Look, we may go an hour.
Yeah.
This out.
As long as you need, man. As long as you need, brother.
We was talking about Doctor Strange, right? So I watched the multiverse, and it's funny because I always collected comic books as a kid. I had thousands of comic books, but I really wasn't into Doctor Strange. So I didn't get into it until I started watching the Marvel, right? So I'm watching the multiverse.
True.
And I noticed something, it literally blew my mind. I was tripped out. Now, remember, I said, we've been here multiple times and we choose to come back. How many times have Doctor Strange been here? If you watch the multiverse?
Many times. As far as I know, he's been traveling.
But he didn't know that in the other dimension that he was in. Remember in that Miss America, America Chavez, that girl, she was like, "Oh, I can travel to the multiverses. When I get scared, I just
the girl that he was with in that one,
And she said, "Oh, you've been here before." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And he pulled himself up out the corpse.
Yeah, that was crazy. It's just showing you that there's multiple versions of yourself that exist through different timelines. That's what they're showing you. It's more than one of ourselves. So me and you exist in different timelines. So they even showed us this in the Flash movie when Flash ripped time and space when he went backwards.
Yeah.
He ran backwards. He tore time and space open. And he ended up in a room where he was able to see a whole collection of time and space surround him in a circle. And he was able to see the different Supermans, the different versions of themselves in different timelines. playing out at the same time, because there's only one time, which is now. The future, the past, and the present the future and the past doesn't really exist. It's just the now. So the past you is still existing, and the future you still exists, just in different timelines. So from what I'm learning is that if we wanted to become the better version of ourselves, we can imagine it and actually shift that timeline that version actually exists at. And now you become that version of yourself. We're all doing it. That's how reality works. Reality is a still shot. Reality is a picture. And that picture, we're flipping through that picture through our mind and looking at it from different angles. That's what angels are. Angels are angles. So we're looking at it from different perspectives to get different actions out of reality. That's how we get motion picture. Like a movie. Movies are like pictures that they turn into motion pictures. That's your reality. Your reality is a movie. So you're projecting your movie through your mind and you're participating in it. That's how we're able to flip through realities, because our mind has dimensions in it, multiple dimensions. We are multidimensional. So we can access any of these dimensions whenever we want to by using our heart center. Our heart chakra is a portal to the higher realms. We just have to learn to use it.
I was watching. I'm giving people breadcrumbs. I hope you guys understand that are listening. I'm giving you breadcrumbs. I'm telling you what to go watch, so it makes sense. There was a movie called Cloud Atlantis with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry.
Yeah,
you couldn't get more clearer than what the world is like until you watch that.
That was a wild movie, man.
It was wild. You remember how they existed in there? And she said, "I heard that song before."
Yeah,
I heard that song before, and I was like, "It's look, we're gonna do an hour. Fuck that."
Yeah, this stuff is deep, man.
So check this out. I'm watching. I don't even know, Sardine. I don't even know how that movie came about, but I believe that we exist in multiple things. So I said, you know what? Let me leave my future self breadcrumbs. And the next thing I know, I'm watching Cloud Atlantis going, son of a bitch.
Exactly.
I'm going, son of a bitch. Because Halle Berry was different females in different time portals, in different timelines.
Exactly.
Tom Hanks was different, but he had different careers. He started out as an archaeologist in one timeline. He was this in another one. He actually was on a slave ship.
Whoa. Yeah.
And the black dude was a slave on a ship. And in the future, he was a scientist in the far, far future.
That's deep, man. That's deep. I just show you that we're infinite. We're infinite.
Yeah. He was infinite. Every scenario, you have to watch Cloud Atlantis if you've never seen it. It's about
Cloud Atlas. Yep.
Yeah, it was crazy. But what trips me out is I just don't understand why people have a hard time understanding this.
Yeah, because they think it's science fiction. And they don't realize that everything that we were taught that was science, like I'm gonna bring something up that you just mentioned. When I was young, I used to be into Dragon Ball Z.
I heard of that.
Dragon Ball Z, DBZ, and then I learned later on why I was so interested in that stuff. That stuff was showing us what it was, man. Animes, what you call it, like avatars, the last airbender, the avatar with the blue ones. They're literally telling us in the movie, that's who we are. That's who we are. We have abilities. We can control nature. We can control the elements. We have the ability to shift timeline. We have the ability to literally do anything that we can imagine. We just don't realize it because of we've been dumbed down to think that, like you said, in the movies we're watching it, but we don't believe it's true. We don't think that stuff. We think that stuff is just made up science fiction. But robots was science fiction at one point.
Yeah,
saucers was science fiction at one point. Aliens was science fiction at one point.
Yeah.
All of that is real now. All of it is real. You know what I mean? Flying cars.
You know what the checked out thing is? You know what is so tripped out? Look at the cartoon. This will trip people out.
Yeah.
The Jetsons.
Took it out of my head.
Think about this for a minute. They're talking on their watches. This shit wasn't out. People need to understand this shit wasn't out.
Yeah, exactly.
The Jetsons were on their phones talking to each other on their watches. They do video chatting. Remember, let me call Mr. Spacely, you know. And I'm going, these motherfuckers knew about this ability for quite some time.
Yeah. Because what they really do is like technology, the system, the government is 300 years ahead of us. They're 300 years ahead of us with technology. They're very advanced. What they do is they literally withhold the information and they spoon feed us little bits of information like the phones. I'm gonna tell y'all today, the whole world gonna find this out. The phones, the laptop, the technology, it's an extension of your being. Learn how to use it. When people learn how to use it, they'll tap into another level of power. The phones, the laptops, just like the car is an extension of you. You go in there and you drive it, right? Mm-hmm. So is the laptop, so is the computer, so is the phones. If you learn that, these devices were given to us by other beings and they told the government to give it to us and teach us how to use it, and they never did. They never taught us, because if we did learn how to use them properly, we would be able to really get the best use out of the technology. So they dumbed us down with it by using them for like social media stuff and pumping programs to your mind to program you so that you don't realize who you are to wake up fast enough. That's what's happening. But if you learn, I learned that I could use the same technology to disrupt their frequency. I use their technology and I disrupt their frequency with it. I pump more positivity into the air. So
the ideal is to use the frequency that the phones are using and send out positive.
Yeah.
Finding the right station is going to provide you with the right information.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
I got it. So check this out. You know, ladies and gentlemen, be ready. Don't hang that phone up. Don't turn that dial yet. We got a lot more. We're going right now. We're gonna keep going.
Yep.
I heard recently.
Yes.
I heard recently that a time shift had been performed on this planet in 1963 during the assassination of John F. Kennedy. They said that it actually happened. It happened in they did something. It's 1968 or something, but the assassination did not take place in 1963. So they had to go back and do something with the timeline because it would have messed things up because of what he was trying to do with waking people up.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that? And did you hear about that?
No, you're right. I heard about it. What happened is he went in that timeline, he told the whole world that aliens existed and that they're amongst us, and it caused chaos throughout the whole world, pandemonium. So they had to assassinate him to stop it from happening in another timeline, because what he said caused worldwide chaos and pandemonium.
A lot of people might say that's unheard of, but I still tell people you gotta, like you just said, you once thought robots was science fiction. Now they're here, so you got to really think out the box, especially when they're telling you that these things exist, timelines and so forth, and even things like the Bermuda Triangle. I'm like, those are portals.
They're portals.
Those are other dimensions. The planes and ships because of the frequency and the crystals, those things still exist. I mean, I think people are really starting to understand, and this is even tripped out. Thank you for the download. This is even tripped out. Even the shit in California. Remember back during the war when they were shooting and all those people still got bullets?
That was real.
Yeah. That was real. You see it real, but somehow or another, you still try to dummy it down and was like, they were shooting at some air balloons. Get the fuck out of here. When is the military?
True, right? Exactly.
Yeah. When has the military did a full on scale mass shooting in the air at some fucking balloons? Come on, man, and putting people in danger. People still got bullet fragments.
Yeah.
How ignorant are we to your viewpoint as human beings? You would think when we have this great genetic code in us that we can see past the bullshit.
Yeah. What they did was they programmed everybody with the worshiper gene, so everybody will worship them and not think outside of the box. So they put something in your DNA that'll make you not see past what reality is. Like it kind of inhibits you from perceiving the full aspect of reality. So that's what's happening. That's why they couldn't see it, because I definitely looked into that story about them actually shooting a ship, not a balloon, and that there were things that were coming out of the ship, the chemicals that actually burnt people. So it definitely is an occurrence. That was like the War of the Worlds. That's where they got the movie from, the War of the Worlds. It came from that They literally made several movies about it. The last one with Neo, the singer, he was in that one in California where Los Angeles was under attack. They literally put it in movies, but what they do is they tell us, like I said, it's science fiction. So people don't really know what to believe because Hollywood is showing us, but they're telling us in a way where it's like it's hard to fathom this. Like an example, I'm going to tell you before I forget this. Independence Day, they're going to try to use that as a script in Project Bluebeam to strike fear into the whole planet. But because a lot of us know that it's not real, we're giving the information to the world that no negative beings are here trying to harm us. All right. There's too many light beings on the planet. Too many ships above us. There's too many ships in the ocean. They're all light beings. They're good ships, good beings on. They're actually us that's on those ships. So nothing bad is happening to us. They're going to try to tell us it is, but you have to know in your heart that nothing bad is happening. That's why they made the Independence Day movies, to try to use that as a ploy to strike fear into all of us. You seen the movie with Will Smith, man. You seen how that thing looked like.
But it's just common. It's just kind of common sense to me that, that why would even the Greys, what they were talking about, they're just an extension of us. They just can't reproduce. They're, they did something, and whatever they might have did enabled them to where they can't reproduce, but we're still part of their DNA, the reptilian. We have a reptilian side of our brain. We have all this DNA in us.
Reptilian brain and a mammal brain.
Yeah. This is even more tripped out. Check this out. And I tell people, I used to be a history teacher. Check this out. I said, if you don't believe the shit we're talking about, look at your history books. And let's use a prime example. Let's look at the Greeks. Let's look at Greek mythology for a minute. Let's look at the Troy fight, the Battle of Troy, when the gods was on Mount Olympus. Yeah, I said, think about it. You know where I'm going with this. Think about it. And humans being controlled by the god. And I tell people, if you're looking at history, they're writing what they see and they're interpreting it the best way they know how. Let's get real. Ain't nobody going up on the motherfucking Mount Olympus. There's no house on Mount Olympus, but you said they have a shimmering palace, blah, 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 blah. And Mount Olympus, all of a sudden the guys took off after the war.
Exactly, because they're telling us that these beings are really always here watching over us. And I learned this a while ago, that our world has been manipulated by higher dimensional being, because we're in a third dimension. So the beings in the fourth dimension were able to look down and manipulate our entire world. And they've been doing it, like you were saying about the time. At one point, they did change time also in 2012, because what they were doing, they were using a project called Project Looking Glass to look into the future. The government has all this information on their website. They were using a project, powerful advanced technology to look into the future through quantum computers. And they were able to basically manipulate the time through doing stuff, manipulate our reality. That's why people had that Mandela effect about Mandela dying and then not dying. All of that was the occurrence of all of this. So they kept manipulating our time with these advanced technology that they got from advanced civilization, advanced beings, gave it to them. They were supposed to give it to us to help us. They took it and took advantage of it. So they manipulated the time until 2012. Up until 2012, God came back into the picture and bottle-nosed the timeline back down one timeline again. Because what they were doing, they were splitting the timelines and pushing us into different timelines. All of that changed. Now we're back on the correct timeline now. And they can never do it again, because we have the power to shift to whichever we prefer.
I know people are like, what the hell is going on today on the Andre The Beast Crayton show? We're waking you up. We're trying to wake you up, people. We're leaving breadcrumbs is what we're doing. We're leaving breadcrumbs. And I tell people the easiest way to get information, it's simple. They give it to you right on television. It's easy as hell.
They do.
They give it to you right there. Watch movies like Cloud Atlantis. Watch The Matrix. Watch The Terminator. You know, these things are encoded. I mean, people don't even know what The Terminator is about. I said that's the Bible.
Yeah, they were telling us the lady that wrote it. I forgot her name. A sister wrote both those movies. They're both.
I know her. Yeah, she's coming on Sophia. She's coming on my show. Yeah,
amazing, man. She wrote powerful. She wrote those.
She's deep, man. Look. I'm scared of her. When I talk to her on the phone, dude, she says, Andre, you know exactly what the Matrix is.
Yes.
I said, I really don't. Then I got the download. I said, Neil is Christ. Yeah. John the Baptist, which is played by Morpheus.
Yes.
And I just start going, son of a bitch. I said, this is crazy. She said, Dre, you know what it is. You've been knowing what it is.
Yeah. We all know what it is. We just made ourselves forget so we can remember. But the Matrix.
Exactly what she said. She said,
the Matrix
you've been talking
about us.
Yeah. It's about us and our ability to be gods, pretty much.
Yeah. Yes, that's what we are. We're definitely gods having an experience, but we couldn't come into physical reality with all our powers available. We had to make ourselves forget that we had powers just as to have a physical experience. Because if we came in with all the power, we will know that this world isn't real. We will know that the world is a projection of our consciousness. That's what makes the Matrix. The Matrix is us creating it. It's come from our mind. It's a mind matrix.
Let's talk about the Matrix a little bit, but let's talk about the connection between, let's say, Neil and Mr. Anderson, because that was the alter ego versus the ego.
Yes. So, yes, from what I'm learning is that we all have like an antagonist and we're the protagonist. So sometimes we need that to actually push us to becoming who we're meant to become. Like I was saying about even having haters. Sometimes haters is our motivators. You know,
right?
Somebody might say that you can't do it. No way that you're Christ. No way that you have God divinity. You want to find out. So you actually go find out because you're curious. And you find out through yourself by proving yourself right. It's not about them. It's about us. You know, me. So we all have this ability. It's just about tuning back into yourself by going within yourself. And then all of the answers will become available to you because you're actually seeking it. You're curious about it. And
do you get more negative stuff from people that are Bible thumpers?
I would say honestly, I'm not even sure where some of these people come from. Honestly, I don't know if some of them are religious because I used to get I post spiritual videos and videos about us having abilities. Yeah. People do give me feedback and say that, oh, God, we got to go through the Father, go through the Christ, or I do get some type of feedback that made me wonder, like, what are you guys reading? What church do y'all go to if you don't realize that the Bible is telling you that you are God? You don't need to go through somebody else to get through to yourself. God will and your will is the same will. They don't get it, so I get it. I do my best not to get caught up in the whole back and forth. But like you said, I read some of them sometime just to see how people think. And sometimes I'm like, wow, people still think like this. Like, the world is changing, but you're not changing. So that's just certain people are just stuck in their ways. Like, they don't want to change.
Well, I just call that many are called and few are chosen. And you know what? I got a download a while back, right? I was doing a show.
Yes.
And we was talking about something. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, you can't wake everybody up.
You can't. You can't save everybody.
Right. I was like, I said, there's going to be times where, if your parents believe a certain way and they've been conditioned like that, they may have to repeat the cycle of reincarnation. You know what I mean?
Until they figure it out.
Yeah.
That's
another movie people need to watch is Soul. Have you ever watched Soul?
Soul, is that the one with the kids one?
The Disney cartoon?
No, I only seen parts of it, but what I saw was very profound so far, but I haven't watched the whole movie yet. But
you should watch it. I 100% agree with everything you're saying because I'm like this. When I ask for something to help complete my journey, that's what I ask for. That's what I manifest. I don't manifest for because I'm already wealth. I'm already abundance. I'm already
That's right.
everything I need to be. But what I do
That's
know
right.
is I exist on multiple planes. And what I do is I set breadcrumbs for myself and for others. And what I mean by that for people that are
Yeah.
listening, if you understand what we're talking about today on the show, you will understand the breadcrumbs. You will understand the vibrational messages if you were meant
Yes.
to have it. But you got to be open to receive. And if
That's
you
right.
always already from a fear base, you're not going to receive it anyway. Your frequency of FM AM, I said, let me use this so people can understand. The frequency is just like going to the old radios or your TV, and your TV used to fuck up and used to turn the knob to get the picture clarity.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
breadcrumbs is I can make sure I have clarity and that you have clarity
That's right.
whether you're listening or not. But hopefully, as you listening to me and Sadique talk, you will put the fear aside and say, you know what? Let me really look into this. Let me see if there's a possibility that it can change me, because I'm a firm believer. If you start to open up and ask yourself questions, it'll come to you.
Yes, that is true.
It'll come to you. It'll come. You may not understand it, but it'll come. The questions that I ask, they pop up. That's telling me that the divine creator is making sure that the message that I'm trying to learn from myself and that you're doing is resonating, and we're providing the frequency to help individuals grow their mindset. Because I don't want to talk about religious narcissism. I want to talk about that beast mindset and helping you to ascend. And sometimes you have to digest small pieces in order to understand the message. So out of today's topic, what you need to do is something resonated with you on what Sadique was talking about or what I was talking about, then just take that little bit of information. If it brought even a trace of curiosity to you, a particular part of the conversation, then work with that. And it will start opening up, like you said, what do you say? The onion.
Yes. The portals of your mind will open up, and then you will be able to receive the downloads now, like you was just saying, and get more information from your higher self. It will guide you. All we have to do is listen. We always being guided. Sometimes we don't listen. That's what your intuition is. And the feeling in your gut, your heart.
We go, you know what? I don't want to do that today.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to listen to it. Listen to it. If it tells you don't do it, don't do it. If you don't feel it, don't do it. And this is a prime
example of what you're talking about. You hear people go, yeah, but if I had to win in that building, something told me not to go in that building, but damn, 20 people died.
Yeah. That's your higher self telling you not to do it. It literally will tell you don't do something by giving you feelings, emotions. And that's what I learned about what feelings and emotions are. These are tools from your higher mind to create your reality with. That's what feelings and emotions are. I wish they would have taught us this in school. I had to go through life, the hardest times in life, to figure out what that was.
But you know what? That brought me and you together. And I'm so blessed and privileged and honored, because you're gonna help me to understand myself more. And I tell people like this: you have to be open to allow other people to bring their vibrational frequency into you to help elevate your vibrational frequencies.
That's definitely true, brother. That's very true, man. I'm learning from you as well, because we all learn from each other. That's how enlightenment works. We help each other enlighten one another, and we share information to help the rest of the world reach enlightenment as well too. And it does work, man. It does.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it worked. The people that are meant to get it, they will get it. They will receive the downloads. We plant the seeds; they will grow.
Yeah. And let me ask you a question before we wrap up. Let me ask you a question. You have a family. You have children.
Yes.
So people can understand. A lot of people may not get it. Even our own kids or our own mothers and so forth. But how do your kids resonate with what you're talking about?
You know what, man? That's a great question. I take them and I speak to them and I show them, I do my best to show them what I'm saying and not just say it. Like when I go outside, I tell my kids, my son and my daughter outside, I show them how we command nature. I show them when I speak, the wind responds to me. And I do my best to actually show them what I'm saying, that you are a god, you are a goddess. And we all have this ability, which means we have to be godly all the time and actually learn who we are and tap into that power through meditation, through different affirmations and commands. So I do my best to actually show them and give them the tools how to regulate their emotions, how to raise their vibe, all these things that I'm doing my best to teach and share with other adults. I'm actually doing with my kids too, so they can get the best experience out of life by realizing that they have all they need within themselves to be the best version of themselves.
Because we all have a tendency to become emotional sabotagers.
Yeah, I learned that emotion plays a big role in our reality. They even put this in this movie. I'm glad that you brought up Souls. Another Disney movie that's great for people to see is the one where they were showing the emotions. Trying to remember what Riley, the movie they were talking about, this little girl named Riley, can't remember what the movie's called. Inside Out.
Yeah.
Where they were showing you how the emotions controlled how this little girl acted and how she carried herself. Is that it's very deep. It's for adults to watch and kids to watch. Because when we all learn how powerful emotions are, we'll learn that we can use these emotions. They're energetic cues from your higher self. That's why emotions come with energy. It makes you feel a way where it's either motivating you to go do something or it's telling you not to go do it, depending on how it's making you feel. It helps you create.
You have to be careful too with who you associate with, because emotional frequency, you feel that. So it's also draining. Even yesterday we was talking about even intimacy. You have to be careful with who you're intimate with, because the women are the women are the takers. We are the they take and then we put it out there. So you can, I call it damn it, the words on my tip of my tongue. It's almost like a parasite.
Yeah.
It's almost like a parasite type thing. You know, you have to be careful with who you surround yourself with. So they don't take your energy and you don't wind up getting bad energy. Because some people can take your bad energy, they can sometimes take your good energy and use it for themselves.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. That's why a lot of people tell you to protect your energy and watch who you're around. But what I learned is that the higher you reach in vibration, the higher you vibrate, those people that are not at the level of your vibration won't be able to reach you anymore. Because we're constantly rising up in vibration. We are ascending to higher consciousness. So eventually you'll start to see that certain people, if they're not at that level, they won't even show up no more in your world. They'll just disappear out your world completely. And it just sometimes take time for us to get to that level. But all of us are getting there at our own space.
I'm an Aquarius, so if I cut you off, you're done anyway.
Like I said, tuning yourself back into yourself, and then
I tell Bill, I'm an Aquarius.
Man, if I forget you out my mind, you don't exist anymore. You just
if I don't talk to you, there's a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's true, man. It's very true. We have to learn how to detach ourselves from people, places, and things. We got to practice detachment. We got to learn how to just walk away from people when we need to and not feel no type of way about it, because that's how this life is. People come and people go anyway. You know, some are here for a reason, some are here for a season. Not everyone is meant to go to us the whole way.
You need to say that again, because I tell people that
that's just a learning lesson that people just come.
Go ahead, because I tell people that all the time. You know,
some people are just here temporarily.
The hardest thing with people that I find out is
you're here. Yes, detachment is great for learning how to manifest too, because once you get to detach yourself from the outcome and not have no insistence on how things will turn out, you will manifest it much more faster. That's how we create, by not having.
Before we leave, Sadique, how can the viewers reach out to you, follow you on social media, and learn more about the gift that you've been given? How can they reach out to you?
Yes, you guys can follow me on all platforms, Naturallightbeing, and on YouTube, Inspired by Naturallightbeing. I have affirmations on there, mantras that I use to manifest my reality, shape it, bend it, mold it, And on Natural Light Beings are also on YouTube as well. Natural Light Being on all platforms.
You know what? Thank you so much for blessing my show with coming on and sharing such great information.
Thank you, brother.
You definitely
Thank you. I appreciate you reaching out to me, man, and showing love. Definitely was a great show. This is what we call divine timing and divine connection. We already know each other. We just choose to set up this meeting down the line to have these conversations to help remind each other who we are.
We're going to have it again.
Definitely am. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the next one already.
Okay, we're going to do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another, and I do mean another, exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show.